we've got a fight night on. There's a couple of women that I'd like you to smash up.
He was. She beat him up, bless him. But he did touch you or something inappropriately.
The driver was sent up the road packing because he carded. Back then, in those days, you weren't allowed to card.
Yeah. It was great to get behind all these females.
It was brilliant.
Hi, and welcome back to episode 4 of Taxi Talk. And I'm 𝗧𝗸𝗲. Thank you for joining us. And with me today, I'm having a one-to-one with the very glamorous Jodie Wright.
Hello.
Hello, Jodie.
Hi.
Oh, she's all shy and coy, aren't you?
Not for long.
Jodie, so I've got some questions for you today.
Okay.
Now, normally we have lots of people here,
Yes.
but as you're quite important to the industry, I thought it'd just be you and I having a quick chat.
That's nice.
So just to brief everyone, Jodie was born into the trade, weren't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So it was a family business?
Yeah.
In Wellingborough? Mm-hmm. Okay, run by your mum and dad?
Yeah, well, my dad mainly.
There. What was the earliest memories of the taxi office?
If I'm honest, it was probably, I didn't get very involved in the early days, but I do remember being a teenager and my dad getting wind that a driver was carding customers for airport work. So one of my nights out that I went out on, he said, right, I'll pay for your taxi, don't matter where you go.
Yeah.
Just get this taxi, we're going to send this driver, I want you to talk about the holiday you're going on, and I want to see if he gives you a card.
So you were like bait.
I was bait, clickbait.
Clickbait.
But not with the clicks back then. That was
Clickbait.
how old it was. So we got in a taxi. We went to London for the evening because he did say it doesn't matter where you go.
Wow, so you got a night out in London as well?
Yeah, he wasn't very happy about that bit.
Yeah.
But we got the card at the end of it. And the driver was sent up the road packing because he carded. Back then, in those days, you weren't allowed to card the operator's customers.
Now, I've met your dad. He's an absolute diamond.
He's a bit of a G.
He loves you to bits, doesn't he?
I
And
love
as you
him
say, a
as
bit of
well.
a gangster. Back
He
in
was
the,
back in the
It
day.
was back in the days when taxi officers were literally fighting each other, throwing bricks at windows and stuff.
And I think you know, things have changed so much now.
Yeah.
It's so corporate now, and it's professional, and how it should have been, and how I actually, when I stepped in, how I kind of wanted it to turn straight away. Having come from Vodafone and being a regional manager for them, where there were protocols in place, and you know, we're talking like 15, 20 years ago. And when I stepped in and actually started working with my dad, things had changed. Like, things were so unofficial, and you know, everything was the smoky cab office. Back then.
But that's guerrilla warfare, which is what it was.
It was, and it was fun. I'm not going to lie.
I work with Jodie. Jodie's a general manager for still for your family business. Is now part of the
and I
same
still
group.
look at it like that. And I don't think when you've got somebody in the industry in your company, you must know this, that came when it was theirs or it was their families.
Yes.
That passion never goes.
It's kind of in your DNA, isn't it?
Of course it is.
And that's what I love about you, is that Jodie will go the extra mile because it's still part of your DNA.
It's mine. It's my baby.
And literally you still go out carding.
Yeah, we was doing it last Thursday, so I had my watch on, put my steps app on. We done like 7 miles around the town, literally stickered everywhere, and because it was like bank holiday weekend, we want to get them jobs in and we want to get them drivers moving. So
and
the
it's part of that because
there.
you're looking after your dad's legacy.
It is that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course it's that. And also because, you know, you and John have given me a lot of opportunities, and we've got a great working relationship, and I feel now it's my time to prove myself. So for me, there's more to it. It's not just about, you know, keeping my dad's legacy going now.
Yeah. So you're obviously a female in still a male world. Now I know also. Let's be fair. A lot of females in the taxi world aren't as glamorous as you.
David, I have actually scrubbed up today, to be fair.
She has, to be fair.
You've seen some of the Zooms where afterwards everyone's been like, shit, Jodie, you look rough. Are you all right?
Yeah, she always looks good on camera, but in real life, she's a real munter. But you get lots of. I mean, working in a male work.
Yeah.
We did a podcast with some female
Yeah.
drivers, and I asked them the question: do you get lots of men paying you
Inappropriate attention?
Inappropriate potential.
No, I think, see, this is where the boxing came in handy, to be honest with you.
But hold on, what's going on there? Oh.
See what I mean? Like, for me, it's just like, whatever.
Oh.
You know, like, it just...
Yeah,
now,
just...
if I didn't have this in my hand, this is where the boxing comes in handy, because it gives you that false sense of... It's not even a false... It's a sense of, like, you can handle yourself.
I'm just thinking they should get back into episode 4, really.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. They're in the wrong episode. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah,
but thanks anyway. It's a nice compliment, but thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
But how do you find drivers respect you, though?
Right, so I'm going to be honest with you. For me, it's not that kind of way. So when I first came into the industry, my dad was very much like, you've got to earn your respect. I'm not going to hand it to you on a plate. I'm not going to make these drivers, like, I'm not going to demand their respect for you. You've got to earn it. And he probably worked me harder than anybody else in the office. And back then we had like 12 people in the office.
Very labour intense.
Yeah, it was. But actually I did the hardest shift. So I did the finishes at 2, the starts at 7. You know, like,
you had to earn their respect.
Because yeah. And I would do the big long shifts, the 13, 14, 15 hour shifts sometimes. And I think in doing that, I did earn their respect. And I think I've earned it. And I think, you know, some of the more legacy drivers that are still with us now, they spread that word as well. They know that I've worked hard. They know that I know what I'm talking about. And they know I'm very driver orientated as well. So my dad he done me good in making me slug my guts out, basically.
Yeah, you've got a lot of assets, and that's really important. How do you find other females in the office sort of weigh you up?
No, so generally, like me and Emma, for example, Emma is my girl. Like she works so hard, and her passion, considering there isn't that legacy there isn't that those ties there like I've got. That girl has got a passion I don't think you will ever find again, David, to be honest with you. But her knowledge as well, and her understanding and how she does things is second to none. I probably couldn't have done it anywhere near as easily as I did if I didn't have her next to me.
Do you think females make better managers?
Yes.
Because they can multitask and think.
Yes, and I think, you know, obviously culturally, in the last 20 years that I've been in the industry, the cultural approach has changed. I think because I had to earn my respect, and it was a case of that, whereas now I think women are generally just naturally more respected anyway, and are deemed more capable. But yeah, women in the taxi industry, whether it's a driver, a cleaner, or a manager, or like your good wife, you know, head of finance, or, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter what stage it is at, women are great.
They are, and they can certainly pad out the words.
Yes.
A lot of words. Yeah. So going back to female decision making, though.
Yeah.
I've noticed, and I don't like to stereotype, but I think women's benefits are they can express emotion, they can empathise, sympathise. When it comes to decision making.
Do you know what? I actually thought about this earlier.
Yeah.
And there's been some quite debatable things that I've been dealing with in the last couple of weeks. And when I actually sat and broke it down at home and thought, right, I don't really want to be making this ultimate decision. Because
it comes back at you.
Whether that's kind of swayed because it's not my business to be making the decision and have my neck on the line, I don't know. But I do think, listen, I've got as much respect for men as I have for women. It's not like I'm like girl power and I'm like a reborn suffragette. It's not. It's not. You know, everyone's got their assets, but yeah, men generally. Sometimes, though, I will say, men generally will launch something and worry about the comeback after.
Yeah, that's true.
And we do that sometimes. Yeah. Let's be honest.
We shoot from the hip.
We do. We're giving it.
And we just go with it and think, well, it feels right.
Yeah,
do it, and then worry about the consequence afterwards.
It's the women generally that have to deal with the aftermath.
And then learn, but you're there to mop up afterwards.
Yeah. Whereas a woman would obviously pave it and think about what the aftermath might be.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think the yin and yang, isn't it? It kind of works together.
Listen, I think we've got a great team.
I mean, traditionally, years ago, management would have been, well, you're old now, you can be a manager. And now we've got a mixture of young blood.
Do you know, there was something a few weeks ago where you were saying about the new generation coming through and the fresh blood. And it was lovely to hear. It really was, from someone of like as high up as you are in the industry and as well respected as you are. That has always been the way, hasn't it? That, the older you are, the more experienced you are.
As you get older, you think, well, I've tried that, and you give up. Whereas somebody else would come with fresh eyes,
that you've never even thought of.
With new technology, and you think, well, that's the solution for that.
Absolutely, and like the same with me in my little hub as well. Sometimes there'll be things Emma will say, well, what about this? And I always encourage that. I would never go, this is my way, and that's how it's going to be.
Tried it.
Don't argue. Don't push back, as I often got myself along the last sort of 5-6 years. But yeah, for me, I encourage people's opinions because sometimes there's stuff that you wouldn't even think of yourself, and people's opinions count.
So I'm going to ask you serious questions now. So we're going to go from the bad to the good. So what's been the worst experience in your career and your time?
The worst experience for me, and I've still got pictures of it, it gets me quite emotional, to be honest.
Oh, don't cry.
It wasn't even us selling our business.
Yeah.
The worst day for me was the day we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
And seeing the whole car park full up, which used to be empty, because the drivers were out and they were earning. And the day we went into lockdown, that door locked for the first time in like 8 years from when we moved into that unit. Because the unit was open 24 hours a day. We had controllers in there 24 hours a day. And for the first time, I locked the door, shut that office, looked back, and I thought, I need to take a picture of this because this is just, I've never seen anything like it.
It was like falling off a cliff, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I sat and sobbed. I sobbed because I knew what the implications were going to be.
It could kill it.
Because I'd never seen the forecourt like that. I'd never, ever locked that front door in all those years. That front door at Lee Cabs had never been locked. And the light's been switched off. That was my moment.
And the thing is, with that situation, we all felt that.
Yeah.
There was no light at the end of the tunnel. We
didn't know what was going to happen.
You couldn't plan for it. You didn't know if you'd see drivers again.
Yeah, exactly.
Family, friends, customers.
Yeah.
It could have been the end of everything.
And for me, actually, at the time, I wasn't actually even furloughed at the time. I was going home to work from home. We was going into lockdown. So actually, at that point, I wasn't made redundant or losing my job. It was just the fact that that door had to lock and those cars were out there that had never been out there before. And that kind of stays with me now. Like when I have 2 or 3 more cars than I normally have, it brings me back to that day.
That
and
fear.
That's why I get that, why are all these cars outside? And that's why I get flappy.
I think that's the problem with the taxi trades. I mean, we're all singing and dancing. Obviously, we had threats of like Uber coming along, but up until 2019, it was like happy days.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Up until my dad and I sold, we had that town and probably further on lock. It was on and that's a bit like street to say that, but it was on lock. We had it on lock. It was just
sewn up.
Bounds wouldn't even come into the town because they thought my dad was a gangster. Like, we just had it on lock. We had drivers that were doing outward journeys to every town around us with a return lined up for the return. And
so you own the town.
We sewn the place up. It was sewn
the town, up. But then what happened? You sold.
So my dad fell into ill health.
Yeah.
He offered me the opportunity to buy it, but he knew that he would have to probably not get as much for it as he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted.
And I just said, look, Dad, at the end of the day, this is your retirement fund, and I'll make my own way in life. Don't worry about me. This is about you. Because he'd promised me for so many years that this will be yours one day, which gave me that motivation to build it from 30 drivers up to 130 drivers in one town and 50 in another, which was quite, in the space of like 3 years, was quite a big thing when I took over from him. But yeah, it's a lot of things have changed, David.
Yeah, so because you've had COVID, and then you come out of COVID, there's a driver shortage.
Yeah.
Couple of change of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And different manager
And in that
styles.
time as well, absolutely. So obviously I was made redundant.
Yeah.
That was the biggest impact on our area. I'm not going to lie. I was made redundant. Another manager was chosen to step in.
Yeah.
And we lost 82 drivers.
Which is because of that management style.
In 15 months.
Yeah.
Because my style has always been a case of open door policy.
Yeah.
And actually sometimes it's a ball ache. Sometimes I just want to get on with 108 emails I've got on my inbox that are all people wanting me to do something for them. But that person in front of me is what gives me that USP over Uber.
Yeah. Well, it is. You're more than an algorithm. You're a human being.
Yeah.
It's about human relationships.
And people, I think sometimes some of the operators now, as we've gone more automated, they're forgetting that. And that is people power. You cannot.
Well, really, we forget that technology is there to assist us.
Absolutely, not to run things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the trade's USP, and we forget that. We're going about automation, automated.
It's not all about that.
But we forget actually our USP is those relationships. People. And be involved in the community, which I know you're bringing back,
I love that,
you?
yeah. So I've done quite a lot. Obviously, you know about the Frank Bruno stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the industry do
I
as well.
know about it. So tell us about...
You paid a lot towards it as well.
Tell our audience about your boxes. So,
so go on.
When we first met, you were going through a quite difficult stage
I was,
in your life.
I'm not going to lie. I've gone through a separation and I was in a low...
You were beating people up in pubs and stuff. Get out of my pub, beating that. Yeah, you know.
It was a man, though.
He was. She beat him up, bless him. But he did touch you or something inappropriately. Can't see why he'd do that. Stop it. Let's behave. So you at that point in life. So there was a white collar event industry.
So I'd been brought back to obviously Take Me at the time, and you guys had not long took over as well.
Yeah.
So I had the aftermath of that little period of you guys not being in and just trying to get through it. You know, things weren't great, and it was just quite a dark time, really.
Yeah.
And I'd always liked boxing, and then you rang me and said, "There's a fight night on, and there's a few fighters that I think you could fight."
Yeah.
And there's a few that I think you might get matched up with.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? So, and I'd always wanted a box. I walked into a gym, Ray's gym. I will just give that shout out now if it goes out in Wellingborough. Ray's gym in Wellingborough, back in the day. But back then, when I was a kid, because I'm really old, girls weren't allowed to box.
Yeah.
So I weren't allowed to go and train. So I could just put it to bed.
Yeah.
And obviously then I had kids and like got on benders and, well, benders, then kids. And
you
then...
like benders, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Did you not know that? No?
Can't tell at all.
No, that's number 3.
Yeah.
If you sent that woman to the shop,
Yeah, so she's been in the green room far too long. So you got... boxing.
So anyway, boxing, sorry. So you rang me and said, we've got a fight night on. There's a couple of women that I'd like you to smash up.
Yeah.
Would you do it? And I said, which women? And you told me, and I said, well, yes, actually, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
So I signed up. That said woman then decided that she was going to pull out because she knew that I was signing up and probably would get a match with her.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I decided to stay in. And put the hard work in.
You lost a shitload of weight.
Shit ton of weight.
And you were running around.
I was.
And you really
feeling like Rocky, like Rocket.
Frank Bruno school.
But do you know the reason I done that was because Take Me had invested.
Yeah.
And you all believed in me, and like I think you kind of must have known that I needed that. I needed something. I needed something to concentrate on, a positive.
Well, if you think what's not to like, you're fine. You like a bit of fine. Loads of muscly men. You like your muscly men.
Yeah, there is that.
And
no, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
It was more the fact that I needed something to fight for, and I'm proud to be Take Me, David. And I'm not just saying that. I am proud. And I thought, well, do you know what? If it's against 𝗧𝗸𝗲, I'm going to step through them votes and smash her up because I'm Take Me and she's 𝗧𝗧𝗲.
Yeah, and you did really well, and you did us all very proud.
Yeah.
So that was a proud moment.
But also in doing that, we raised a lot of money for the Frank Bruno Foundation.
Yeah.
And all of my social media coverage that I did, it wasn't just to big myself up and like try and claim.
It raised your profile though.
Yeah, but it wasn't for me to claim to be Clarissa Shields or anything like that, or some next like pro boxer. It was to like raise the profile for the Frank Bruno Foundation, which do great things for mental health. And you invested a lot of money, and they're forever grateful for that. And actually, we introduced Steve from TC's to them as a result, who's done a lot of other
That's another taxi company, isn't it? Steve, he's a
and he's
trainer.
done loads of stuff with the Frank Bruno Foundation since, which is fantastic for me. And it's all about mental health. And we've had some drivers since.
And since then, so you moved on, and I'm conscious of time now. Yeah. So we moved on from that. You then came an ambassador for Female in Fleets.
Yes.
So tell us about that, because we interviewed last week or the week before some of the ladies that you've been part of that process, bringing them on board. So tell us what that meant.
That was actually during my training, and I met Rachel Dale in Wembley it was, and you asked me to go along and help her on her stand. And as soon as she started talking to me about, getting more women into the industry, she sold me straight away. Because I've always been a bit girl power, and I've always been a bit, that way inclined. I think she picked up on that. So I was like, David, I need to get behind this. So we paired up and we started pushing. We got some other girls on board as well. And it really worked, David. We went from like 3%, I think it was.
It was great to get behind all these females.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And we got a lot more women within to be fair, I thought, because I'm being a woman and running a taxi firm as a woman, 15 years ago was quite unheard of. So I've always had quite a lot of women within my fleet anyway. So it was an easy thing for me to do. But it was more about getting the word out there that it is a women's job as well, and actually selling the benefits of being a driver for a woman.
So many proud moments, Female in Fleets. Now moving on from there, now you're involved in tuk-tuks. Now I know about this, but tell our viewers what the tuk-tuks are, what it means, and why you're raising money with the group, a group of taxi companies to buy pink tuk-tuks in Nepal. So
I met Mary a couple of years ago, actually.
Who's Mary?
Mary is the founder of the Rosie May Foundation. And Mary and I started speaking about what she'd done at the very first Women's Day, International Women's Day event that we had. And Mary straight away captured my heart and spoke to me about all the things that she's done, and also the things that she was doing within the UK taxi industry as well, which was very similar to what the females in the fleet were doing. So it was very, we had a vested interest together already anyway. But then I spoke to you about the Rosie May Foundation and the things that they were doing out in Sri Lanka and Nepal. And you wanted more information, obviously. So we put you in touch with Mary, and it just went from there.
So the Rosie May Foundation is raising money to buy tuk-tuks. I think they're about 5k each. These tuk-tuks are put into communities where they train women to drive them to get their children to school, basically.
Not just children as well, though, David. It's like women. There were women in Sri Lanka, especially, that were walking 10,000 kilometres to go to the hospital whilst they were in labour. And because there was no transport for them, or they didn't feel safe enough to use the transport that was out there. That, for me, pulls on a heartstring. I've had 2 children, so I know what that feels like, and I would not want to be walking 10,000 kilometres anywhere when I'm in labour. Just wouldn't. But it's the rest of it as well. Women that wanted to go out to work didn't feel safe using the public transport that was available. Whereas having a pink tuk-tuk pull up, where it's indicative that there's a female driver and they're going to be safe to get to work, where they can be self-sufficient. How can you not be all behind that?
I know.
With somebody like me? It's just.
So that makes you very proud, does it?
Absolutely. And last night I saw the videos that Mary had posted on our WhatsApp group that we had, where we were all celebrating. And I did. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know I might be this hard boxer, but a couple had a couple of tears in my eyes
Oh,
because
bless
I
you.
felt proud, and I even forwarded it to my mum at 44 years old.
Oh,
You know, because it's a proud moment.
and that's something that people don't realise is our industry is so engraved in the community that we can do these wonderful things and pull people together
Definitely.
as a community.
Definitely.
And something you can't get off an app.
No, and I think the community thing is a massive thing, especially for, you know, local operators. It is all about investing back into the community, because that's where the money is. If people know that you are investing back in, they're going to they're going to book with you every time.
Loyalty and support. And we know many, obviously there's food banks we're doing and so on.
Like we've just done our
things.
We Care promotion with the care home.
Yeah.
You know, which has had a great return. So.
Oh, yeah. Jodie, you're an absolute star. Now, before we go, we do this thing called True or False.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, now here is the graphic for that coming up now.
Right, so I've got one for you. So on the taxi rank in Wellingborough, so we've got some Hackney drivers as well as private hire. There was a Hackney driver who was driving for about 20 years. Name was Paul, and one day he decided he was going to be Paula. Paula. And he donned a big wig.
What colour was the wig?
Brown. Yep.
Yeah.
Not blonde.
Not blonde, brown. So he was.
So Paula had a brown wig, and Paula was a driver in Wellingborough for around about 15 years after that. So quite a long time. Paula was very well known in Wellingborough.
Did he have a pink cab or pink tuk-tuk?
No, he had a yellow Hackney.
A yellow Hackney.
Yeah.
Paul. Did Paul have a family?
Yes, he did. She did, sorry.
She. Are they technically women? I'm not sure whether there's
I don't know. We're not going down that. The discussion we're on about right now.
So is this true or false? Did Paul become Paula? Can we have voices? So what do we reckon? True or false?
True. False. True.
True. I'm going to look you in the eye. Did Paula become Paula? I'm just looking at you in the eye. I think it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
There you go. Well, there you go. We have all sorts. Jodie, thank you so much. I'm glad you've enjoyed the hospitality.
I have, yes.
You've
3
still
bottles.
got some. Let's take that home with you.
Thank you very much. Cheers, everyone.
Love to your father, your family, and everything.
Thank you.
She's a true superstar of the industry, and we need more people like Jodie in the industry. Thanks for watching us. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, do funny things around the screen, and we'll catch you on the next podcast. Thank you very much. Take care.